Not even a spot. You're like in the HVAC system. Huh? I know, I have it. It went in the wash. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Mine came out, I thought it was like a hairball in the wash. And I was like, no. But it's right next to my bed now. But this one stands the test of time. Ooh, you have double nut today. Do you want two? Yeah. Hi. They're still. They're gonna die next week. Their time will come. But until then, we must suffer. Hi. How are you?
Good.
How you feel after the weekend?
Good.
Made it back.
I didn't get hit by a car.
Yay, good.
It was crazy. I showed up to teacher training and I was like, hey guys, got hit by a car. And
Oh,
they were like, are you okay? And I was like, I feel like I've been like baptized to Philadelphia. Like just by having that experience, I was like, I feel like I now truly
live here. Yes, you're from here.
Yeah, the guy did it because he knew I needed that. It was a gift to me.
Oh my God.
And when he yelled at me after, it was just another way. Oh, yeah.
Welcome, really welcome you.
And I was just like, I'm afraid. Just keep walking. I was like, use the situation.
Oh no.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Thank you.
Hi y'all, come on in. We'll start in a little bit, but we'll use all of the props today. So you can take some time to grab, if you don't have them, 2 blocks, a blanket that's over here, a strap we'll use, and then we'll get some time to roll. So we'll do some therapy ball work towards the end also. But I can bring those to you now or later, whatever you'd like. Did I get bitten by a mosquito too, or am I just like stress itching? Ay, ay, ay. Oh no. Hi. You're great here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hi, Amy. How are you?
How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you. Okay. In theory, we're waiting on 12 more people, not Siri. In theory. Rude. But there's, I know, plenty of room for everyone to trickle in. Take your time grabbing anything you need, any water, all of the props. And we'll get started. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. October came quick, ending quickly. Next Thursday is Halloween. 2 Tuesdays is Election Day. And daylight savings. So you know, a great cocktail of things about to come up, but we're really glad to have this practice and each other to be in good company with. For those of us that are new to one another, my name is Anisha. Thank you so much for being here. And we have Kale with us. It's her last week of assisting because Lucky Dream is going to start teaching a new series of weekly classes over at Uprising. I keep wanting to say Unity. I don't know why, but Uprising on Passyunk. So if you're free Wednesday nights at 6, go check her out because what a treat to be able to have her in class and then her continuing to teach all throughout the city. But the way the class will look today is she'll practice from the mat so that people at home can have a visual, and I'll walk around and teach. If you have any questions about stuff or need insight or clarification, please feel free to call me over, and I'm more than happy to come help in any way that I can, yoga related. So, asterisks, yoga related, that's my sphere. Nothing else can I help you with. But 2 more weeks, this week and next week, I'll be sharing a few more stories that I've been talking about all month long about the holiday of the goddess. So officially, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, was the last night of the 9-day, 9-night celebration of the goddess herself. And a few things, the studio itself is named after, yes, Queen Village. Hi, come on in. You're more than welcome to come here. There's a sliver right here if you want to go in there, but anywhere you like. But it's also named after the 3 main divine feminine energies in the yogic tradition. And for the whole month, we've really been talking about one. Today, we'll talk more about her too. But her name is, there's a few statues of her up here and peppered all throughout the studio. But her name is Durga. She's the warrior goddess, the one that rides on the back of a lion or a tiger in and out of battle. And if you missed last week's story or the week before, no big deal. They kind of compound on each other, but I'll try my best to give a quick summary. But when I'm talking about the goddess herself, yes, you'll hear me describe characteristics and different features of these different iconic characters in the yogic canon. But they all really encompass and come from the same main energy. This will apply to today's story. So each one of us in the world that we know is comprised of an infinite amount of energies. There's that inherently divine masculine energy that exists in each and every one of us. There's that inherent feminine divine energy that exists in every one of us. And how we present, regardless of how we see ourselves in the world, each one of us has those energies moving through us in different frequencies and different variations, and they emerge at different times of your day, different times of your life. So the divine masculine energy is this one, Shiva. His birthday is usually in March, like April, March, so we do a lot of stories about him then. But now we're in the season of the goddess. So last week's story ended up with one of the great demons being defeated. He was the demon who was kind of the most demonic of all of the characters. His name was Rakta Bija. For every 1 drop of blood that has spilled on the battlefield, another 1,000 demons emerged. And so all of the strategies these goddesses were using to try and defeat him or provoke him weren't working because he was just getting stronger the more they attacked. And so what ended up happening is the warrior goddess Durga, the one that rides on the back of a lion with her 10 arms. She frowned. From her eyebrows emerged Kali, the one who represents our divine, ferocious energy. Her hair is always out. She wears the necklace of 1,000 skulls, representing all the demons just a fraction of the demons that she's killed. And her tongue is always rolling out of her mouth. And so what she does is she laps up all of the blood on the battlefield so that no new demons can be emerged. And Durga comes and slays the final blow to defeat this demonic demon. But then what happens afterwards? You know, the demonic army has been consumed, destroyed. The goddesses have all kind of gone back to where they came from. But Kali, the ferocious, she still remains. And what happens to her is it's kind of like once you pop the lid of that energy, it can't just go back in. And so she is in this like ecstatic, rageful state. She starts to destroy things that don't need to be destroyed. She starts to consume and attack things that don't need to be attacked or provoked. And she's kind of on the battlefield by herself, going wild. And what happens is her divine masculine energy, her consort, her beloved, Shiva, he sees her and he says, okay, the only way that this is going to end is if I go onto the battlefield and she sees me. If she sees me, she'll be able to remember parts of herself, to not just calm herself down, but to remember who she always was. And so what he does is he walks onto the battlefield in her circle of chaos, and he lays down, and she sees him, and she rips his head off because she's so, blinded by what she cannot see. And as soon as that happens, she kind of recognizes who he is and what he is to her. And she places one of her feet on him, and it quite literally cools her down. It calms her, it soothes her, it calms her entire being. And then because she's a divine witch, goddess, she's able to breathe life back into him, and he stands up. So end of the story is everyone is okay, and they all calm down. But I love this story so much because, this practice of yoga that we do here together, there's poses that are in our practice that are quite honestly meant to test our capacity of breath. They're meant to make you warmer, they're meant to extend you, they're meant to elongate you in ways that we don't normally do in our daily life. But the aim of the game is not to try and stay in that high intensity rage, but high intensity place. The practice becomes, it's not that you need a divine consort because that lives inherently within you, but your breath acts as both. How can you use your breath to both energize you, warm you up, and cool you down and tether you back into reality? And so today we're moving towards full splits. We're going to move towards Hanumanasana. We're going to do it on the floor. We're going to do it at the wall. We're going to do it upside down. And Hanuman, the pose itself, is quite literally pulling you in two different directions. Your legs are going in different directions. Your torso's going one way. Your arms are doing something else. And it's a true metaphor of this practice of when you're being pulled in so many different directions, how can you call yourself back to who you are? Not change who you are, not shape shift, but remember who you've always been. So I'll talk about that a lot as we practice today. But props will be your greatest tool. Durga had all of her weaponry in her hands. She had the sword, the discus, the trident. You got your props. They help you to defeat all of those demons, seemingly demonic poses, so you can create some more space. But I'll turn the fans on as it starts to heat up. 6 years later, your girl made a new playlist. So my demon has been defeated. You'll hear that today. I'm open to notes. Feel free to ignore it, tune it out, but I just wanted to mention it in case you hear something new, but you'll hear something new in the speakers. So I'm really happy you're here. Thanks for coming. Let's start lying on our backs, if you wouldn't mind. Can you have your heads up towards me, your feet to the wall behind you, and have your strap close by. If you need one, we can bring one over to you, but just place it off to the side. You can unravel it from its rubber band. We'll start to use it as we move about. But as you come to lie on your back, be as comfortable as you possibly can, meaning you might have your arms and legs out long, more in that Shavasana shape. If any things are going on in your low back or in your hips, you might bend your knees, bring your feet as wide as your mat, and knock your knees into each other so that the weight of your legs supports the other, clear space in the hips and low back itself. But wherever you are and however you arrive, let your eyes either close or just soften to a point. And as you close your eyes, give yourself a moment to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see every version of ourselves more clearly than before. There was the you that you were before you walked in, the you that you are here against the earth, and the you that you are still making space to become into. But as you feel that thread of your breath, that link that connects every version of yourself together, can you let it slowly begin to deepen? Letting each inhale move from your nose, down into your belly, and then up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath out through every direction of your being, every fiber of you. Continue with a few more breaths, just at your pace. Letting each inhale move in, down, and wide, anchoring you to yourself. And each exhale through your nose or mouth pours itself up and out in every direction. This practice that we do here with each other is first and foremost an offering to your breath. This breath that surrounds each and every one of us, that connects us, and truly informs every single action that you do. So as we start our practice and our time here together, we'll begin with 3 more rounds of that same breath. Wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to let all of that breath go. 2 more times on your own. The bottom of your breath. Pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now keeping that attention to yourself as best as you can. Gently blink your eyes open if they're not already. And let's all meet with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor, right underneath you. Give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Start to make some small circles with your right foot or ankle. See if you can spread the right toes and point the toes, and notice what you feel in the sole of your foot. Now as you draw your right ankle back through center, find your strap and bring it around the sole or the ball of your right foot. Start with your right knee very bent to begin, just so that your left leg has a little more room to move. And now as you give yourself enough slack on the strap that your elbows can touch down onto either side of your body, begin to straighten your left leg long out in front of you. See if you can dig your left heel into the earth, your left calf, and the back of your left thigh down into the ground. Now as you shrug your shoulders to your ears, wiggle the shoulder blades towards each other, and begin to straighten the right leg up into the strap towards the ceiling. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And now bring both edges of the strap into just your left hand. Bring your right palm to the top of your right thigh, where your thigh and your hip start to meet each other. And now give yourself a little pressure. Press your right thigh away from your belly towards the back of the room. And 1 inch at a time, begin to move the right foot to the left and noticing what you feel in the outer right leg. Can you peel the right pinky toes back as you press the top of your right thigh away from you? Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Try to loosen the grip on your fingers around the strap. Let the clench soften. And now on your next inhale, draw the right leg back up through center. Bend the knee, slip it out from the strap, and lower your right foot down onto the floor. You can just drape the strap across your belly and give the left leg a hug in towards your chest. Start with your circles in the left foot or ankle. Spread the toes, point the toes. We're going to be spending a bunch of time on the feet today. So just enjoy what it feels like to be off of them for a moment as you take a big breath in and a longer breath out. Now find your strap and bring it around the ball or sole of your left foot. Give yourself enough slack on the strap so that your elbows can touch down on either side of your body. Really let your upper back be heavy on the earth. And now as you straighten your right leg long out in front of you, hug your right thigh an inch to the middle of your mat, dig your right heel into the floor, press the right calf down, and let the back of your right thigh be as heavy as it possibly can. Now straighten your left leg up into the strap, shrug your shoulders to your ears, and wiggle those shoulder blades towards one another. Really let the back of your heart get heavy on the earth. Take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale as you offer that breath out. And now both edges of the strap into just your right hand. Bring your left palm to where your left thigh and your left hip start to meet. Press your thigh away from your belly, and 1 inch at a time, start to move that right foot or the left foot over to the right. Sometimes the pinky toes want to go faster away from you. Can you peel the pinky side edge of your left foot back? As you shrug your left shoulder up and back, take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your inhale, draw the left leg back up through center. Bend your left knee, slip it out from the strap, and give your legs a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. You can make some small circles. You might lean a little from side to side. But the next place we'll meet is we'll make our way to tabletop facing the front of your mat. So however you'd like to come off of your back, you can roll onto one side. You might roll forward and back, but find your way to all fours facing the front of the room. You might have your blocks framing out the front of your mat. Maybe you use them as we start to move around. But as you come to all fours, spread your fingers nice and wide, tuck all 10 of your toes behind you, and see if you can notice the arches of your feet. Now begin to round and arch through your spine at your pace, linking movement and breath together. You can stay more rounded or arched for a few breaths. You might take a few breaths in child's pose or moving your hips towards your heels. Gotcha. You might take a few breaths drawing one hip to one shoulder and breathing into the opposite side of your waist. But just see what it feels like to move, not just your body independently in space, but how your breath and your body can start to harmonize here together. When you find your next exhale, come on back through center, make your way to tabletop. Stretch the right leg back behind you, tuck the right toes under, and reach through the heel to come in for a calf stretch. You can stay still, or you might slowly rock the heel forward and back. But as the heel goes back, can you slide the very top of your head forward so that all four sides of your neck grow longer? Take another breath in, and on your exhale, switch. Bend your right, stretch back through the left, and notice what you feel on side two. Stay still, or maybe move back and forth. But can you send your breath in and down to fill your belly? And as you exhale, reach the breath out through the left heel and forward through the crown of your head. Now soften the left knee, take it back to table. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Walk your knees back behind your hips. And as you tuck all 10 of your toes under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time or as many breaths as you'd like to find your way there. Feel free to stay still. You might pedal the heels one at a time from side to side. You might soften your legs at the same time and straighten them, but offer it to your breath as you can. I know the story of Durga, of Kali, started off on a battlefield, and one of the interpretations is that the battlefield was only 6 inches long, the distance between one ear to the other, because the battlefield exists, yes, outside of you, but the metaphor is that the battlefield is that interior landscape that we're always trying to negotiate. So as you take a longer breath in, let it fill you up, and a deeper breath out through every direction of you. Now lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You might have blocks underneath your hands so the floor comes high up to meet you. Feel free to even widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees, all in service of giving your low back some extra space. But with your head heavy, if it feels okay for your neck and shoulders, even gently nod your head yes. And slowly nod your head no and see what it feels like to breathe here, upside down with your head below your heart. Take a longer breath in and a clear, steady breath out. And now hands climb up to your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale to come up to rise as you release your hands. With your feet under your hips, wait for your inhale as you reach your arms forward and up. And on your exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips, and fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, hands to shins or blocks as you reach your chest forward. And exhale to step it back to plank pose. Find the top of your push-up. With your knees up or down, feel and listen for your breath. Now, without actually moving your legs, can you hug your legs towards each other? Feel those inner thighs magnetize in. And now think tailbone towards your heels. You'll feel that low belly light up. And as you push through your palms, slide your heart forward. Take a big breath in and exhale to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra. Wait for the breath as you lift up through the heart. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog or table or puppy pose for 3 slow, steady breaths. These mythological stories, these tales that I share in class, you can think of them as very separate from our reality, almost like fairy tales that you get to hear about. But the idea is that each of the tales offer a drop of truth, of morals that connect to our outside and inner world. So the story of Kali, it's a reminder that Shiva never told her that she needed to act different or be different than who she is, but he always just reminded her of who she always was. So as you find your way here to your second down dog, can you notice what you feel, how it feels, and where you feel it? And as you find your next exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward to the top of your mat, to your standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a long breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, reach up, touch the sky, and exhale to bring your hands down by your sides. One more time, really follow your breath more than my voice. As you inhale, the arms reach up, get taller, and exhale to soften your knees as you fold over your legs. Take the whole breath to come up halfway, grow longer through your spine, and exhale to step it back to plank pose. A full breath here, think tail towards your heels and heart forward. And exhale to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Wait for the breath in to rise, cobra. Hug your shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Take a full, steady breath in and a long, clear breath out. Now, without actually moving your hands, as you inhale, can you hug your palms towards each other from right to left? And now as you push your arms down and forward, lift your hips up and back to the wall behind you. Now at the bottom of your breath, lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward to the top of your mat, standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen. Let the fronts of your feet be heavy. And exhale to fold, bowing towards your own self. Now keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. Bring your hands high up onto fingertips or blocks on either side of the right foot. Squeegee your left toes back another inch or two so you get a drop longer in your stance. And now as you inhale, keep the right knee bent but lift up through the heart, grow long. On your exhale, we move to pyramid pose. Push the right leg straight as you fold and bow in. Let's go between those 2 more times. Inhale through to lunge, bend your right knee, lift up through the heart. And exhale to fold and straighten the front leg. Notice what you feel. Take the entire breath to come back through to lunge. Bend the knee, lift your heart up. And exhale to fold and straighten that front leg. Now pause here for a moment. Can you lift your back, right, left heel higher up off the floor? This will help your hips find more space. And as you push through your left foot, wrap your left hip forward and let the right hip tack back towards the wall behind you. Notice if you feel it in the back of your right thigh. Now take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might soften your elbows as you bow in towards that right thigh. Now on your next inhale, reverse. Bend your right knee, plant your palms on the floor, and step it forward into your standing forward fold. Take notice of any difference that you feel from side to side. It's not a practice of changing or fixing anything about you, but just giving you a moment to remind you of who you've always been. So as you keep the left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back to catch your lunge. Come high up onto your fingertips or blocks. And now wiggle the right toes back another inch or two so you get longer in your stance. Now staying in lunge, take a breath in, lift up through the heart, grow long. And exhale to fold as you straighten that left leg. Purusvottanasana, twice more. Inhale through to lunge, lift up through the heart. On your exhale, fold and straighten the left leg. One more time, drink in your inhale as you bend the front knee, lift your heart up. And exhale to fold as the left leg straightens. Now pause here for a moment. Traditionally in this pose, the back heel is on the ground, but when you lift your right heel higher up off the floor, it helps you move the hips in space. You can really wrap your back right hip forward and tack your front left hip back. And the hope is you don't feel it near your left butt cheek nor the back of your left knee, but in the belly of your left hamstrings as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, let your elbows soften. Press your left big toe into the earth as you bow in towards yourself. Now reverse, bend your left knee, plant your palms on the floor, and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels one at a time, and give yourself a moment to notice what you feel. Notice any difference from one leg to the other, from your first down dog until now. And now on your next inhale, ripple forward through to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Hug your legs towards each other. Think tail towards your heels and heart forward. And exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your inhale to rise, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take a full deep breath in and a long steady breath out. And now on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. And as you pivot your hands and feet to the left, come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Check to see that your toes are pointing straight ahead. And now see if you're leaning way back into your heels, can you let the weight be even in the fronts and backs of your feet? Can you explore, see what it feels like to lift and spread all 10 of your toes just for a moment and notice where the weight falls in the corners of your feet. Can you let the weight be even in the inner and outer edges? Now as you lower the toes, hug your feet in towards each other. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, let the elbows soften as you bow in towards yourself. With each inhale, hug your feet towards each other without moving them. And as you keep that steadiness in your legs, let the elbows soften as you bow in towards yourself. Nice. See if you can take the tiniest bend in your knees and then squeeze your legs in. Yes. Take one more breath in as you are. And big exhale to offer that breath out. And now turn your right knee and toes to catch your lunge. Wait for your inhale as we come up to rise for high lunge. Reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. Walk the right foot as much as you need over to the right side of your mat so you're less on a tightrope. But like you did in pyramid, lift your back heel higher up off the earth. Wrap your left hip forward and tack your left hip back, or right hip back. Now reach up through your arms. See if you can look away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend one more inch into the right thigh as you lift your left thigh higher to the sky. Now hands come to your hips, tiny bend in the back knee, come up to stand, spring off your left foot, scoop your left thigh to your chest, grow 1 inch taller through the crown of your head, and lower the right left foot down next to your right. Bend your knees, sit your hips back into chair, lean into your left foot, lift your right heel, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh for standing figure 4. Your hands can be anywhere to steady your balance, on your hips, in front of your heart, or overhead. But do flex that right foot like it's standing on solid ground. And as your hips go to the back of your mat, can you lift your heart up to the sky? Take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale to come all the way to rise as you lower your right foot down. Reach the arms all the way up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and grow up and over to the left for standing crescent, a side stretch. As you tip to the left-hand side, see if that left hip and left shoulder are reaching towards the back of your mat. Can you slide your left shoulder more forward, but slide the ears back to lift your chin so there's space for breath to come through. Inhale to come all the way back upright, touch the sky, get taller, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat, step your feet to the back of your mat, and take it back to downward facing dog. A few more times together, follow your inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the breath in, drink it in as you rise, Cobra Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, float the left leg to the sky. Step the left foot all the way through to catch your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet to the right and come into that wide-legged forward fold on the other side. This time, watch for butts in front of you. We're going to come to stand. Bring your hands to your hips, and as you inhale, come all the way up to rise. We'll take a shoulder stretch, so feel free to grab a strap between your hands. I like it because it gives me lots of space between the chest. Or if you want to interlace your fingers, you can do that too. But once your hands come behind your low back, holding a strap or fingers interlaced, elbows stay bent, hug your shoulder blades together, and now big inhale to lift up through the heart. Watch for the butts in front of you as you exhale, fold and bow in. Reach your arms up to the sky, off of your tush. Now tiny bend in your knees, especially if they lock. And when the arms go overhead, can you take a tiny bend in your elbows so that they don't lock? Now with each inhale, hug your feet in towards each other. Now with some resistance, can you tug your strap apart, hug the shoulder blades towards each other, and maybe the arms reach overhead towards the long edge of your mat. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then on your inhale, slowly release the hands back to your tush, ditch your strap, turn the left knee and toes to catch your lunge, and let the whole breath in bring you up to rise for high lunge on the second side. Reach up to touch the sky. Remember, walk the left foot as much as you need over to the left. But the steadiness from this pose is going to come from the leg you can't see, the back one. The higher you lift your right heel, the higher you lift your right thigh, the more the ground beneath you gets anchored. Now reach up through your arms. See if you can look where you're going as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Bend into the left thigh as you lift your right thigh higher to the sky. And then you got it. That was a nice little wave. We're coming up to stand. Spring off your right foot, right thigh to your chest. Grow 1 inch taller through the crown of your head and lower the right foot down. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. Lean into your right foot. Lift your left heel and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Think like your butt cheeks could reach towards the back of your mat. Hinge at your hips. And as you lift your heart up to the sky, offer it to your breath. Send the breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, let the hips get heavier as you lift your heart up away from the earth. Now inhale to come all the way to rise. Lower the left foot down. Feel gravity beneath you. Reach up through the arms. Grab your left wrist and grow up and over to the right for standing crescent on the second side. Can you let the right shoulder and right hip point more to the top of your mat? But as you slide the ears back, maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears as you grow up and over to the right-hand side. Now inhale to come all the way up through center. Reach up, get taller, and exhale to fold, bowing in. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk those feet all the way back to the back of your mat to downward facing dog. And now lower the knees onto the earth and slither all the way down onto your belly. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead, rest on one of your cheeks. Close your eyes for a moment and really listen for the full depth of your breath. Like I mentioned in the beginning of class, there's series of poses in your yoga practice that are meant to make you warmer, that are meant to test your capacity of your breath. But the aim of the game is not to stay in that heart-racing, breath-filled space. We give ourselves time to call ourselves back to ourselves, to quite literally cool ourselves off. So as you feel your breath here on the ground, Can you breathe into your belly and feel your low back expand, touching the air above you? Breathe into your belly and then up into your chest and feel the whole back of your body broaden. And now stay down on the ground. We'll come in for a thigh stretch here on the floor. So keep a pillow with your right hand. Let your forehead rest on your right palm. Bend your left knee and reach your left hand back to hold the left foot or the leg of your pants or the pinky side edge of the toes. For Ardha Bekasana, half frog. First things first, like you did in plank pose, can you hug your thighs towards each other? They don't have to touch, but feel them magnetize in. And then draw the left heel towards your left butt cheek. As you shrug your left shoulder up and back, create some resistance. Press your left foot back into your hand as you draw your left heel towards your tush. Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your inhale, release the hold of your leg and switch pillow with your left palm. Bend your right knee and let your right hand reach around for the right toes. Start first by hugging those inner thighs towards one another. This will clear space in the low back. And now as you draw the right heel towards your right tush, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and begin to find some resistance as you push your right foot back into your hand. Simultaneously draw your right heel towards your tush. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your next breath, release the hold of your leg. Plant your palms to either side of your chest, tuck your toes under, and press yourself up through to tabletop. Come up to your hands and your knees. All right, from table, if you don't have them already, have your blocks framing out the front of your mat. You might use them as we go through our next few poses. But let's meet in downward facing dog as you lift your hips up and back to the wall behind you. Now from your down dog, take a long, steady breath in. And a full, clear breath out through every fiber of your being. Wait for your next inhale as you float the right leg up and back. And now pause for a moment. See if you can look down your body and see your right toes. Can you turn your right toes to face towards the earth? Wrap your right hip to face down to the ground. And now hug your right thigh an inch to the left. And as you push your palms down and forward, lift your right leg 1 more inch to touch the sky. Big breath in. And exhale to step the right foot all the way to the outside of your right hand. Lizard lunge. Lower your back knee down onto the floor or onto your blanket for some extra padding. And now bring your hands up onto blocks underneath your fingertips. We're going to make our way into half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So we'll back our way into it. Walk your back left knee back. And then really walk your hands all the way back with you. Walk your left back knee back and bring your hands back. And now instead of just moving the right knee to the floor, can you send from your butt your hips back to lengthen the right leg, to straighten the right leg. Flex the right foot, peel the right toes up off the earth, and really walk your hands all the way back underneath your shoulders so you can lift your chest up tall. Yeah, some folks like to have both hands to the inside of the right foot. You might find more stability with one hand to the outside and the inside. But as you peel the right pinky toes up off the earth, find some resistance. Without moving your feet, dig your right heel into the ground. Imagine like you could drag your right heel back and wrap your left hip more forward. Now push down into your blocks to lift your heart. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Keep your left hand down on your block. Bring your right palm to your right hip. And as you shrug your right shoulder to your ear, squeeze the right shoulder blade to your spine. We add a twist. Turn your belly to the right. Can you peel the right pinky toes back? Shrug the right shoulder up and back. And then slide the ears back to lean back. You can keep your hand on your hip. It gives me lots of stability. If you want to reach your right arm up to the sky, you also can do that. But take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And then on your inhale, unwind. Lower the right hand, walk your left knee forward, bend your right knee, and take it back to downward facing dog. However you peel yourself back, we'll meet in down dog once again. Pedal those heels and notice any difference that you see and feel from side to side. Now, second round, lift the left leg up and back. Flex the foot, try to straighten the knee. And if it doesn't teeter you off balance, even look down and see what that left foot is doing. Can you hug your left thigh an inch to the middle of your mat? And now as you push down and forward through your arms, lift your left inner thigh 4 more inches to the sky. Big breath in. And as you exhale, look forward and step the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Lizard lunge. Lower the right knee with care down onto the floor, padding. And now come high up onto your blocks, inside or framing out the left foot. Walk the right knee back, bring your hands back. Walk the knee back, bring your hands back. And now as if you had a long tail and someone's tugging you from your tail, send your hips back to lengthen through the left leg. For my friends whose knees easily lock out, take the tiniest bend in your left knee. You might not see it, but you'll be able to feel it. And as you flex through the left foot, without moving them, can you drag the left heel back and wrap the right hip forward and notice where sensation travels to in the back of your left thigh. Now push down into the blocks as you lift your heart. Take a big breath in, a longer breath out. Keep your right hand on the block. Bring your left hand to your left hip. And as you shrug your left shoulder to the ear, squeeze the left shoulder blade to the spine. From your belly, start to twist to the left. Can you peel the left pinky toes back? Maybe even lean back against yourself. Stay right here breathing. Maybe the left arm reaches up, but send the breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Can you reach the very top of your head longer to the sky? Beautiful. And then inhale to unwind. Lower your hands. Bend your left knee. Walk the right knee forward as much as you need. And we'll meet again in downward facing dog. Hips up and back to the wall behind you. Pedal those heels. Notice what you feel. Again, not a practice of fixing or changing or shape-shifting, but of calling yourself back to yourself. Notice any difference that you feel. And now lower your knees down onto the ground. Does everyone have therapy balls? If you need any, you can raise a hand and I can bring some over to you. Before we come up to the wall, I want to roll out the thighs. So you can take one of the, I got you. You can take one of the therapy balls, thank you, out of the tote and come to lay all the way onto your belly. And we'll start to roll the fronts of the legs out. So once you're on your belly, head to the front of the room, feet back. Bring one of those therapy balls right above your right knee at the bottom of your right thigh, somewhere at the base of your right leg. And again, no wrong spot that it should be at, just a place where you can be comfortable and breathe. Make a pillow with your hands if you'd like. Rest on your cheek or on your forehead. And as you stretch both legs back behind you, on your own, start to bend and straighten the right leg. You might notice that there's a difference in sensation when the leg is bent versus straight. But the next time you bend your right knee, let it stay bent, and then move the right knee to the right and foot to the left so you come more to the inner thigh, and then knee to the left and foot to the right so you come to the outer thigh. Do that a few times just at your own pace, noticing what you feel. Can you unclench the fingers, soften your jaw, let your tongue press away from the roof of your mouth, and do your best here to offer it to your breath. So method behind the madness is that in a moment, after we roll the thighs out, we're going to go to Hanumanasana again at the wall. And thighs and hamstrings are complementary muscles, so when one contracts, the other lengthens and vice versa. So the idea is when we roll the thighs out, it might create a different sensation in the back of the legs when we revisit full splits. So see what you're working with from side to side. After a couple of breaths and few rounds at the bottom of the thigh, draw your right knee through center, and then use your hand and pull the therapy ball up. Come more to the middle of your thigh, somewhere slightly different than where you just were. Rest on the other cheek or on the other palm. Get as comfortable as you possibly can, and start to bend and straighten the right knee. The next time you bend the knee, let it stay bent, and on your own, let the knee go from right to left and left to right. Take a deeper breath in through the nose, and even open your mouth to really offer all of that breath out. And now after a few breaths, in the middle of your right thigh, pop the therapy ball out. We'll do the second side in a moment, but before we do, just stretch both legs back behind you. Close your eyes for a moment and take notice of what you don't see with your eyes, but you can more than clearly feel from one leg to the other. This mythological story, the story of Kali with her unbridled, unmanaged rage. She stepped onto Shiva, her beloved, and it reminded her of who she always was. It cooled her down. And so here, as you lay against the earth, you, your own beloved, can you listen for the beating of your own heart? Take notice of what it is that you feel. And then as we come to the second side, when you're ready, same thing, round 2. Find the therapy ball at the top of your left, right above your left knee, at the bottom of your left thigh. Make a pillow, get comfortable. And at your own pace, begin to bend and straighten as you let the knee go from left to right. Can you take long, full breaths in through the nose and even open your mouth to let all of that breath go? After a few breaths, at the base of your thigh, come up a little higher to the middle of the leg, this last little section. Rest on the other palm, the other cheek. Stretch your legs back behind you and begin to bend and straighten. In classes from the week before, there was all of these otherworldly demons. There was a shape-shifting water buffalo demon. There was this demon that spilled 1,000 drops. For every drop of blood that spilled, another 1,000 emerged. And the joke, not really joke, but I'm like, the demons that we face in Philadelphia aren't shape-shifting water buffaloes, but they are therapy balls in your thighs, thigh stretches, parts of your body that we sometimes forget about. But the story of the goddess, she had the weaponry that she needed to defeat her demons. And your most powerful weapon is the fluency of your breath. So can you feel it here, moving its way through you? So after a few breaths in the middle of your leg, stretch your legs, pop the therapy ball out. We'll use them again later. Stretch your legs back behind you. Close your eyes and take notice of who you've always been. Every version of yourself, from before to now to who you're becoming into, they all exist here. So as you find a long breath in, down, and wide, let your exhale pour itself out of you. And now press your way up through to tabletop. Come up to your hands and your knees. To the wall. We're going to come to the wall. There's plenty of room for all of us to find space. So if you could, you don't need any of your props with you. We're going to come back to the middle of the room. But find the short edges of your mat to the wall. There's slivers over here. There's lots of real estate on all of these walls. But we'll get close. There's no kicking up to the wall involved. It's just stepping of feet. Thank you. Yeah, we can squeeze some of you. Unless you want to be close to someone, there's some space here. Can fit another mat in. Everyone finding room? Yay, thank you. Okay, great. It's always nice to know how many can fit. Once that pre-pandemic, there didn't used to be a thing behind that wall so you could use it. And now every time I touch it, I'm like, I can't be the one that breaks you. So I'm glad we all find room to fit into here. Okay, so Hanumanasana, full splits. We've done it in so many orientations to gravity. We did it lying on the floor, one of our very first poses. We did pyramid pose. We did a half split. And now we're going to take it at the wall. The thing about Hanumanasana is when you do it on the ground, it's a beast of a pose. There's a lot going on here. But when your feet are on the ground, it doesn't give your hips a lot of leverage, or it doesn't give my hips a lot of leverage to move. So say hypothetically, I'm in it, pretend, use your imagination, where one foot is forward and the other foot is back, the hips have a tendency to want to open up in that direction to get your pelvis down on the floor. But what we're going to do is use the wall and use that as a little bit of leverage to find more access into the back of your leg. You want a demo? Okay, Kale's going to demo because I am cold as a spring chicken. But what we're going to do is Kale's going to come to tabletop at the wall. You can go on this. I believe in you. Okay. And if anything, it's on record that I will take responsibility. So Kale's going to come to tabletop at the wall and then make her way to downward facing dog, a little shorty down dog at the wall. Here, you're in upside down. You're already upside down. Head is below your heart. So you take a couple of breaths to just orient yourself to this new shape. And now one leg is going to go as high up the wall as it can possibly go. The toes will tuck under, and she's going to try and straighten that knee. Already, I guarantee you, she's feeling sensation here and here in the front of the hip. So you do not have to do anything beyond this. But what you'll notice is she's really well aligned, but this hip wants to lift higher just because that leg is lifting up to the sky. So what she's going to try to do without actually moving herself is wrap this hip towards the earth and really lift this hip up to the sky. And as that hip lifts, maybe this leg might float up off of the earth. It's not through muscling your hands down, but it's this hip lifting. And then she's going to keep the hip steady as she grounds her heel back to the floor and sends pubic bone to the wall. And you might even walk your hands back an inch or two towards the wall. And then you breathe in there. And then when you want to come out, you walk your hands forward, you lower the knees, and rest for a breath in table. Because if you come up to sit, I did this yesterday, I saw stars. So just give yourself a moment before you come up. Does that make sense, though? The idea is that you're not like muscling yourself away from the ground. You're wrapping your hips like a corkscrew. And the wrapping of the hips, the foot does not have to lift up off the floor at all. But it's this action that helps you feel sensation, not in the back of the knee, nor up near the tush where the attachments are, but in the belly of your muscle and the hamstrings themselves.
The leg that's not on the wall, the reason you're not planning it is to get more like against, like to push your pelvis, and then once you're kind of in position, you lock down your foot a little, not lock it, but like you
press it down. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, if the foot stays on the wall, there won't be any room for your hips to go. So you want to wrap the hips. We'll try it. Let's try it on the first side.
You don't really have to lift it. You can just loosen it off and yeah, gotcha.
Exactly. So everyone have a variation they want to explore. We'll do it once on each side and then forget about it. But the idea of this pose, you'll notice your legs are going in opposite directions. Your arms are going in opposite directions. You're upside down. The practice is, even as you're being pulled in so many different directions, how can you call yourself back to yourself, to your breath, to the steadiness that you need, and to your own discernment of like, I don't want to do this, I'm going to stay here. Or I want to try something different, maybe I'll explore, because never once do you have to do what somebody else is doing next to you, and never once do you have to do what I'm telling you to do. You offer it fully to your own practice. Yeah? So let's try. If you're moving into this variation, I'll talk you through it. If you're doing anything else, call me over and I can find some variations for you, but we'll see how it goes, side to side. So make your way to tabletop with your feet touching the wall and bring your hands as wide as your mat. This will give you a solid foundation. Take a breath and now make your way into your tiny down dog, lifting your hips up and back. Good. Notice the quality of your breath here when you're inverted. And now lift your right leg as high up the wall as it can go. Tuck the right toes under and straighten your right knee. Pause. Notice where your breath is. Notice what you feel in that bottom left leg. Now, without actually moving your feet anywhere, can you wrap your left hip to the sky and right hip down? And now maybe you walk your hands back an inch or two towards the wall and squeegee your right toes higher up the wall. The more you wrap your right hip down and lift your left hip, you might flex your left foot up off the floor and hover it. Now as you push your palms down and forward, ground your left heel to your sticky mat, not just to the floor, but to the sticky mat, and then send your pubic bone to the wall. You breathing in there? Breathe. And whenever you want to come out, you come out. You walk your hands forward, You slide your feet down the wall and rest for a breath or two in any way, shape, or form. That looked good. That sounded good. I heard some panting in there. Just soft hyperventilating. Any questions?
I was feeling it way more in this, and I think I maybe shouldn't have, or I should have. Okay, because I thought bottom one was like the back.
You'll feel it everywhere. Yeah, in every part. Most people feel it in the bottom leg because that's where the hamstring sensation is, but 100% you're going to feel it in the outer top leg too. Yeah. So we don't feel like a stretched out rubber band for too long. We got to do the other side. Both legs, so you don't walk out here one side longer than the other. So let's make our way to table. Take a breath. There's zero rush. Make your way to your hands. Come nice and wide to give yourself space. Come to your tiny down dog at the wall and take a breath here as you arrive. Notice the quality of your breath when you're upside down. Now lift your left leg as high up the wall as it will go. Tuck the toes under. Try to straighten the knee and breathe. Without moving your hands or feet anywhere, can you wrap your left hip towards the earth and feel your outer right hip lift? See if that moves sensation to the back anywhere in those legs. And then only if you want, you might walk your hands back an inch or a handprint to the wall. Squeegee the back toes higher up the wall. And the more you wrap your left hip down and lift your right hip up, the right foot might flex and hover up off the earth. Then you push your palms down and forward, ground your right heel to the sticky mat, to the floor, and send your pubic bone to the wall. Breathe. And then when you do not want to do it anymore, no rush. Walk your hands forward, slide your feet down the wall, and rest for a breath or two in any way, shape, or form. His holidays in January, the god with the face of a monkey who does full splits. But we're just doing a little teaser in October, because all of January we're going to be doing full splits, so you get to decide if you want to come back. Let's come back to our original spots, and we'll do some counter poses to clear some space. So find your way back to where you were, or a new spot if you want. But once you're on your spots, once you find your place in the middle of the room, I got you. The thing about it is I like to keep a little heat when we do full splits, because when it gets cold, I'm like, but now we're going to blast you. So helicopter fan. So once you find your way to your spots, come to sit on your butt facing the back of the room. We're going to come into reverse table before we lie down. So with your butt on the ground, bend your knees, face the back of the room. Bring your hands as wide as your mat, and let your thumbs face towards your heels. Now, without actually moving your feet, moving your tush, can you scooch your hips towards your heels? Keep your butt on the ground, and now push through your palms to lift your chest up. Take a breath. This is the sensation we're seeking. If you want any more pressure on the wrists, push your feet down and forward, lift your hips up to the sky. Push your palms down and apart, and lift the back of your heart. You might look at your knees, or without cricking the neck, as you side the sides of your throat back, look straight up to the sky, breath full. If your hips are lifted, push your feet down and forward to lift your butt. Push your palms down and apart, hug the shoulder blades together to lift the back of your chest. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, lower your butt all the way to the ground. Come to lie on your back. Have your therapy balls within a grabbable distance. And have one of your blocks within a grabbable distance too, just so you don't have to get up and grab things until it's time to leave. So with your therapy balls off to the side, one of your blocks within a grabbable distance, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. With your feet as wide as your mat, take a big breath in, and exhale to let your knees drop to the right, like a windshield wiper on a car. Inhale to bring the knees back up through center. And wait for the exhale as you drop your knees to the left. Go one more time on your own. Inhale, the knees come up. Big exhale, let the knees drop over. One more round. Drink in your inhale as the knees rise. And exhale to let the knees drop to the left. Now as you draw your knees back up through center, cross your left thigh over your right thigh. Scoot your butt all the way to the left side of your mat and drop your knees over to the right for a twist on your back. If this feels like too much pulling on the low back, you're more than welcome to just stack your legs one on top of the other. But let the left shoulder and the back of your head be heavy on the earth. As you take a deeper breath in, you can stay down, and a longer breath out. And now on your inhale, uncross your legs, draw your knees and feet back through center. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Scoot your butt to the right, just so you stay on your sticky mat, and drop your legs to the left. Twist on the other side. Your arms can rest alongside of you, on you, or even overhead like a big V. But let both shoulders, especially that right shoulder, stay heavy on the ground. As you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now on your inhale, uncross your legs, draw the knees all the way back. With your feet on the ground, knees bent, a moment or two in reverse supported bridge pose. So bend your knees, bring both feet on the ground, shrug your shoulders to your ears, and wiggle the shoulder blades together. Now as you push down and forward through your feet, lift your hips up, and slide a block to its lowest or second lowest height, right underneath your tush. If you want to come up higher, I just suggest stacking 2 blocks on top of each other. It's much more stable that way. But less about the height of the hips, but more how much can the hips soften. And as you shrug the shoulders to the ears, snuggle the shoulder blades together, let the back of your head gently soften to the earth, so that your chin isn't tucked, but you can lift the chin and there's space for breath to come through. Your arms can drape on your body. They can be alongside of you. But 3 deep breaths. Send the breath in, down, and wide. And each exhale, can an ounce more of you get heavier into the support. The demon's defeated. The battlefield remains. Can you give this time to call yourself back to yourself? The fluency of your breath and the steadiness of your being. After your 3rd breath, press through your feet just enough to lift your hips up and slide that block out from underneath your tush as you lower your hips all the way back to the ground. With your feet as wide as your mat, knock your knees into each other. Bring your hands onto your belly and take a full breath up into your palms, and even open your mouth to let all of that breath go. And now I'm going to talk you through some therapy ball work in the upper back. There's some options. If there's any other region that you know that you're craving, you're more than welcome to take this time to work on your own. You can also set up early for Shavasana. We'll meet you there very, very soon. But if you're working with those therapy balls in the upper back, feel free to keep them in their tote or take them out, up to you. But lift your head and shoulders up off the ground and pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades from the upper back. They come right at the top tips of your shoulder blades, the back of your heart. And once you find a spot that you can be curious about, that you can breathe into, let your head come down onto the floor or onto a block. You doing okay, Ian? You want to come up? Here we go. Come on up one more time. And then this way. And now come down. How's that? Good. If you'd like to alleviate pressure, you might bring your head up onto a block. Because the point of this is to be in the place, not of sensation, where you're not breathing, but where you can keep the full steadiness of your breath. Take a longer, deeper breath in. And a full, long exhale out. And now after a few breaths here at the very top of your shoulder blades, with your knees bent, feet on the ground, push through your feet just enough to roll your body towards your head until those therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades, just a few inches lower than where they just were. You might need to bring your blocks with you if you have them. But as you take a longer breath in, Open your mouth to offer all of that breath out. You might keep your arms heavy on your person. Or if you want to explore any gentle movement, maybe your arms reach slowly up to the sky. And if you reach them to the sky and you're like, nope, just bring them back down and let them rest on you. There's so much to do in stillness. But if your arms are lifting overhead, you might move them like seaweed in water ever so slowly. You might move one arm overhead towards the front of the room and then switch. But all an offering to your breath, a deeper breath in and long, full exhales out. And now after a few breaths, release your arms if they're lifted. And one last time, push through your feet to roll your body north until those therapy balls come south to the bottom of your shoulder blades. A bigger breath in, and open your mouth to offer that breath out. Stay right here for a few breaths. Or you might reach your arms up to the sky and give yourself a hug, wrapping one arm on top of the other as if your hands are reaching for the therapy balls behind you. But let the palms be soft, let the fingers soften. Maybe you lean a little from side to side or stay still. But if you have one elbow wrapped on top of the other, just switch to see what that feels like. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And then unwrap your arms if they're wrapped, and we'll make the slow exit journey out the same way we came in. Begin to scooch your tush towards your heels and roll your body to the back of your mat. Sometimes they get caught in t-shirts. You can also roll over to one side and push them out of the way. But do let them fully exit for the remainder of Shavasana, however they come out. For sometimes if they stay in for rest, they create more tension than softness. But once they find their way out, and you drape your upper back onto the earth, take a breath into what you can't see with those eyes, but you might very clearly feel. And the next place we'll meet is in rest. So give yourself as much time as you need to take any gentle, symmetrical movements. You might add layers or remove layers. Perhaps you let your hair down or let glasses set safely off to the side. But if there's anything you can do for yourself to become 2% more comfortable than you are already, I really invite you to use all the resources available to you. And as you close or soften your eyes, can you once again turn towards your breath? A practice of not changing or fixing or shape-shifting, but giving yourself time to remind you who you've always been. So as you lay here against the altar of the earth that you've created for yourself, can you let each one of your breaths begin to dissolve the practice that was? Let each round of your breath help you arrive to where you are now. And let each breath make a little more space for what has yet to come. Every time you inhale, it's this divine energy exhaling her way into you. And every one of your inherently divine exhalations is an offering to her breath in. So as you let each round of your breath let you become heavier into the earth, the heavier your physical body becomes, the more expansive, the more spacious, the lighter you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken not only the body that you're in, but the very spirit that you are, as you begin to move in ways that just feel sweet to you. You might slowly roll your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Maybe you tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against the earth. Or just watching for any props or neighbors around you. You might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But whenever the time comes, we'll all meet with the knees bent, arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice, to curl and coil into yourself. And as you push down into the ground, come up to rise to a tall seat, the very same way we started. With those eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again listen for the full depth of your breath? Let the next inhale move in and down so it fills you up. And exhale goes up and out in every direction. Our time together will finish with one round of breath, followed by the sound of 3 ohms if you'd like to join. The sound thought to be made when you and the universe came into existence. And a sound to remind you of your voice, steady, unwavering, and inherently peaceful, can be combined in the harmony of everyone around you. So as you place your hands to center, anywhere that feels for you, take a deep breath in to let it all go. Inhale in for Om. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands to your head in such a sweet and simple gesture of self-reverence, bowing to your heart and the hearts of each other who practiced alongside with you. And with all of our hearts, Kayla and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Drink lots of water. Enjoy the weather. Take great care of yourselves and each other. Kale's class at Uprising starts next Wednesday at 6, so come through. There's so much stuff happening. Alex Adair, who is a phenomenal yogi and used to own Magu Yoga in Mount Airy, is coming here to host a workshop called Unlocking the Psoas. Thank you. And it sounds incredible. So if you're in town, it's on the 9th, November 9th. Oh my God, November 9th. There's workshops, events, all sorts of things happening. So if you have time or interest outside of the class schedule, do come through. I have nothing. I'm just here. Does anyone else have announcements? Any things that you're doing, you're going to, want to share? Mary's class is Mondays at 5 o'clock up here. So if you're get early off of work or have an early dentist appointment, this is your time to come. And Nicole teaches at 7. Early birds. Yay, thank you. Everyone good? Anyone see any good Halloween costumes? No? Great. I saw someone, I told people this yesterday, somebody was dressed up as the entire muscular system. Like, you see skeletons often, but her face was all painted, and my dog and I were walking around the corner, and I got spooked. And I've, like, seen that anatomical picture in books a lot, and I'm like, in the flesh. But if you see one, let me know. I will not be dressing up, but I love to know. What am I doing? I need lights, sorry. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you.
That was someone else. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Great to see you.